The cold spell hitting the Bay Area is more than an inconvenience for the homeless. It is a battle for survival. There are between 5,000 and 8,000 homeless people just in San Francisco alone, and hundreds of them were able to escape the cold in the city's homeless shelters last night. But many others were turned away because there is no room.
I feel threatened.
Yeah, I think one person can do something about anything.
Any of us could end up there.
Oh, I feel really bad. It's kind of
I have
scary.
to walk by. There's not really that much
Something
I
has
can
to
do.
be done about it.
Some people are doing something. They've decided that it's better to do something, no matter how simple, than to do nothing. They're using 100% recycled materials to make these very simple, no-cost sleeping bags. The bags are then distributed free to people who are cold on the street. You can make a difference too. Here's how you can make an emergency, cost-free sleeping bag out of recycled materials. If you can tie a knot, you can make a sleeping bag. It's easy and it's fun, and it can make a big difference.
Step 1.
Make a 7-foot square. Lots of my brother's keeper volunteers do nothing else but make these squares at home. So, if your group wants already made squares, contact your local organizers.
Step 2.
Make a second 7-foot square.
Step 3.
Sew the 2 squares together along one edge. These first 3 steps can be done alone at home by volunteers.
Step 4.
Lay out the bag. You're going to need some room and some friends for this. Make a construction space by pushing 2 or 3 tables together or finding a clear floor area.
Step 5.
Stuff the sleeping bag. You're going to make a sandwich by layering soft old clothes, sweaters, t-shirts, torn blankets, or mattress pads on top of the backside of the inside. This is like filling a sandwich.
Step 6.
Put the top on your sandwich. Pull the outside square over the stuffed inside square and straighten them out so they are both smooth.
Step 7.
Tie the layers of your sandwich together. You'll need some needles with big eyes and sharp points. And you'll need some strong string, crochet cotton, or sturdy yarn to tie the layers together. Take a stitch and tie a knot. Push the needle down from the top, cross over about 1/2 inch underneath, and come back up. Tie a double knot. If the stuffing is small pieces of rummage, you need to tie about every 6 inches. For this one, the stuffing is one large piece, so it's okay to tie about every foot or so, just enough to keep the insides from shifting around.
Step 8.
Add ties. These ties can be made from old neckties or strips of fabric. Before we close up the bag, we're going to pin the ties on the bottom edge of the sleeping bag. That's because they have to end up outside, which right now is still inside. Pin one tie 7 inches from the edge and the other 14 inches from the edge.
Step 9.
Fold the bag in half lengthwise and sew it shut. Sew around the outside about 2 or 3 inches from the edge using your big needles. This seam allowance acts as a baffle inside the bag to keep cold air out. Backstitch or tie a knot occasionally as you go to make the seam extra sturdy.
Step 10.
Turn the finished bag right side out. Fold it in half lengthwise, roll it up, and tie it. You can also tuck in things in the bag that make another day on the streets a little less difficult for a homeless person.
Pretty good looking tie there, isn't it?
That's quite familiar, actually.
These ties become shoulder straps for carrying the bag during the day. Now it's time to get those sleeping bags out on the street. Contact the organizations in your area that provide services to the homeless. Churches, shelters, a mobile assistance van. Lots of organizations are eager to distribute these zero-cost emergency sleeping bags to people who need them. Can a simple sleeping bag make a difference? My brother's keeper thinks so. We are individuals and groups desiring to help the homeless by making simple sleeping bags from recycled fabrics and distributing them free to people who are cold on the street. Our only purpose is to help the homeless be warm until they can be helped or healed by others in our society.